Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we break down the biggest political stories shaking South Africa. Today, we're diving into a topic that's lighting up headlines, sparking heated debates, and drawing battle lines between political heavyweights. We're talking about the DA's court challenge to the Employment Equity Amendment Act and the ANC's fierce response to it. At the center of this legal showdown is something deeply sensitive: race, transformation, economic justice, and the legacy of apartheid. The DA has launched a constitutional challenge to what it calls job race quotas introduced in the amended Employment Equity Act. They argue that these new laws are unconstitutional, economically destructive, and hostile to small businesses. But the ANC is having none of it. They've hit back hard, accusing the DA of trying to halt transformation and protect white privilege under the false banner of equality. So let's break it all down. The Employment Equity Amendment Act, or EEAE, was signed into law in 2023 and gives the Minister of Employment and Labour sweeping new powers. One of the most controversial elements is the minister's ability to set specific demographic targets, essentially employment quotas, for different sectors and regions. The idea, according to the ANC government, is to fast-track racial transformation in the private sector, which still remains overwhelmingly skewed in favor of white South Africans, especially at senior and managerial levels. But the Democratic Alliance says this is social engineering gone too far. They argue that the law creates rigid racial quotas that could punish businesses, stifle entrepreneurship, and increase unemployment, especially among the youth. The party claims the EEAE violates constitutional principles by reducing individuals to their race rather than recognizing their merit, skills, and potential. It's a position that's winning support among many business leaders, professionals, and parts of the middle class. According to the DA, these racial targets won't just affect big corporations. Small and medium enterprises, the backbone of South Africa's economy, will struggle to comply, and many may end up closing shop or avoiding expansion altogether due to fear of penalties. The party has filed its legal papers and taken the fight to court, hoping the judiciary will side with what they describe as non-racialism in action. But the ANC has come out swinging. They say the DA's court case is a direct attack on the hard-won victories of South Africa's democracy. A spokesperson for the ruling party accused the DA of defending white economic interests under the guise of equality, adding that this litigation is nothing but an attempt to roll back the clock on transformation. From the ANC's perspective, transformation in the workplace has been too slow, too superficial, and far too convenient for the privileged few. And there's some data to back that up. According to the Department of Labour's most recent employment equity report, white South Africans, who make up less than 10% of the population, still hold the majority of top and senior management positions in the private sector. Black South Africans, who make up over 80% of the population, are significantly underrepresented, especially in high-paying roles. Women, too, remain on the margins of corporate power. The ANC argues that this is not accidental, but a continuation of apartheid-era structures that were never fully dismantled. In their eyes, the EEAE is not punitive, it's corrective. It's not about exclusion, it's about inclusion. And they insist that without aggressive transformation policies, inequality will remain baked into the economic DNA of the country. But the reaction from the public has been sharply divided. Some South Africans are cheering the ANC on, saying it's about time the government stopped asking nicely and started enforcing real transformation. They argue that the same private sector that benefited from apartheid's racial discrimination now cries foul when asked to level the playing field. Others believe the DA has a point. They say quotas are a form of reverse racism that will lead to resentment, inefficiency, and brain drain. They fear that good candidates will be sidelined just because of the color of their skin, and that the country's fragile economy can't afford another layer of regulation, especially one as complex and controversial as racial hiring quotas. Then there are those who feel caught in the middle. People who agree with the need for transformation, but worry about the unintended consequences of overregulation. They ask, how do we balance redress with fairness? How do we promote equity without fostering division? And how do we ensure opportunity for all without returning to race-based policymaking that echoes the very past we are trying to escape? This court case is more than just a legal dispute, it's a reflection of South Africa's ongoing struggle to define what real equality looks like. Is it equality of opportunity? Or equality of outcomes? Can a deeply unequal society achieve true justice without race-conscious policy? Or are we building new forms of exclusion in the name of inclusion? The timing of this legal clash couldn't be more significant. With national elections just around the corner, both the DA and ANC are trying to shape the political narrative. For the DA, this is a chance to rally support among business owners, professionals, and urban voters who feel alienated by race-based policies. For the ANC, it's an opportunity to reaffirm its commitment to transformation and social justice, core pillars of its identity since 1994. But let's be honest, this isn't just about policy. It's about power. It's about who gets to define the future of South Africa's economy. It's about whose voices are heard, whose interests are protected, and whose pain is acknowledged. It's about reckoning with the past, but also deciding how we move forward without tearing ourselves apart. And while this case plays out in court, the rest of us are left to grapple with some hard questions. Do quotas empower or exclude? Is transformation being used as a political tool, or is the resistance to it a sign that we haven't come as far as we think? Are businesses justified in their concerns about the EEAE's impact? Or are they clinging to an outdated model of economic power? And most importantly, how do we create a South Africa that truly works for everyone? Whether you agree with the DA's stance or stand firmly behind the ANC's transformation agenda, one thing is clear, this battle over the Employment Equity Amendment Act is more than just legal jargon. It's a mirror reflecting our deepest fears, frustrations, and hopes for the future. So what do you think? Is this a principled stand for non-racialism, or a calculated move to win votes? Is the ANC defending justice, or overreaching in its push for transformation? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear your thoughts on this. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth political analysis, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you next time.